Hi, my name is Riley, and this is for discussion post number 2. So I have my notes on my iPad. So if I look over here, that's why. So my culture is being a 19-year-old woman raised in a Christian household, and also being a part of a very large family that's well known in a small town, and that I'm also Taiwanese and white. So, 4 common stereotypes that I have listed is people assume that I'm not Asian enough to claim being Taiwanese. People from popular or well-known families are stuck up and they think that they're better than others. And popular families who are well known have perfect lives, which is so not true. And that teenage girls raised in a Christian household are either very sheltered or very rebellious. So how I do conform to these stereotypes is I was raised in a very strong Christian household and have Christian values. So in some ways I do come off as traditional and reserved, so kind of sheltered sometimes to people who don't really know me that well. And another way I conform to one of these stereotypes is I do sometimes feel hesitant to talk about my Taiwanese side of my culture. I've caught myself holding back certain cultural things that I grew up with because I worry people won't take me seriously or think that I'm trying to claim something that I'm not. How I don't conform to these is I don't feel like I have to choose one culture over the other. So I embrace both of my backgrounds. And as I've gotten older, I've had to really think about it more. For my senior prom, I actually wore my mom's Taiwanese wedding dress. I felt I wanted to involve my culture in something that was important to me, so I did that, and I actually got a lot of people telling me that it's not my culture and that I shouldn't have done that, but it is, and so I was like, it is. I feel like I don't act like I'm better than others just because my family is known in the town that I live in, which is very small, by the way. I try to stay grounded and be kind to everybody because, you never know when somebody's having one of those days where they just need someone to be nice to them. I most definitely was not sheltered growing up at all, and I don't feel like I needed to be rebellious to find who I was, even though there was a time in my life I was very rebellious. My family gave me a very solid foundation, but still encouraged me to think for myself, and they taught me a lot of things that I would need to know in life, and from that I have been able to form my own values based on reflection and of personal experiences. So I don't fit the all or nothing label people often place on young Christian women, also men too. My stereotypes that I feel contradict each other is being from a Christian household but also being part of a big family, popular family, because people assume Christians should be humble and private and keep it to yourself, but being known in the community can also make us feel very watched and misunderstood, which happens a lot, honestly. Lastly is how self-concept affects affects perception. So my self-concept is really deep into trying to be authentic and kind and strong in who I am. I know who I am more than a lot of people think that I would because I am young, and that confidence helps me stay really grounded when others try to stereotype me I've got a lot of stereotypes in high school and like people assuming, so I try to treat people as like individuals instead of assuming things about them, because I know how frustrating it can feel when someone assumes something about me, being a part of a very well-known family and having two different like cultural backgrounds in a way makes me more aware of how complex identity really is. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.